Started on our mat, laying down in Savasana pose. Legs extended out away from the body, arms next to the sides. You can do palms facing up if you're open to receiving, palms facing down if you just need some grounding. Bring the awareness to the tip of the nose. Find a soft gaze or close the eyes completely. Using this time to connect with the breath and connect with the body. Slowing down your inhales and deepening your exhales. On your next inhale, come up to the soles of the feet, bending through the knees. And then when you're ready, bringing the right knee into the chest. Find a grip just below the kneecap. Bend and extend through the ankle. Circles if that feels better. And then straightening through the right leg. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, supine twist. Allow that leg to go over to the left side. Extend the right arm out. Try to keep the right leg perpendicular to the rest of the body. Inhale, come back through center. And on the exhale, release the right leg down to meet the left. So inhale, bring the left knee into the chest. Find a grip just below the kneecap. Bend and extend. Or find circles with the ankle. And then extending the leg up towards the sky. Taking a deep breath in, finding that length. And on the exhale, supine twist. Dropping the left leg over to the right side. Extend the left arm out. Focus on nice, deep, even inhales and exhales. And then inhale, come back through center. On the exhale, release the left leg down to meet the right. Draw both knees into the chest now, rocking side to side. Giving the low back a nice massage here. Then when you're ready, bringing the hands behind the kneecaps, rolling the length of your mat. About 3 or 4 times. We'll come to an easy seat, facing the front of the mat. And forearms can just rest on top of the knees. So stacking the shoulders up above the hips. Take a deep breath in and bring the arms up above the head. And on the exhale, side bend to the right. So left arm reaches up and over. Gaze towards the ceiling if it feels okay in the neck, keeping the shoulders stacked. Inhale, come through center. Reaching the arms up high. On the exhale, side bend to the right. To the left. Right arm reaches up and over. Gazing towards the ceiling. Breathing into the side body. And then inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, twisting to the right. So right hand drops behind, left hand to the top of the right knee. Press the shoulders down away from the ears, finding length on each inhale. And on each exhale, finding a little bit more depth in the twist. Inhale, come through center, reaching the arms up towards the sky. And on the exhale, twisting to the left. Left hand drops behind, right hand to the knee. Deep breath in, finding that length. And on the exhale, finding depth in the twist, drawing the gaze past the shoulder. And then inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. And on the exhale, we're going to plant the hands down onto the mat, hinge forward. Uncross the feet and shimmy your way into a tabletop position. So stacking the shoulders up above the wrists and the hips up above the knees. We're going to sit the hips back. And on the next inhale, cow pose. Bending through the elbows, sweep the heart through. Bring the chin up, the gaze up, look up as high as you can. And on the exhale, cat pose. Tuck the chin to the chest, gaze towards the navel, and then slowly begin to sit the hips back, breathing here. And on the next inhale, cow pose. Bend through the elbows, sweep the heart through. Drop the belly down low, arch the tailbone up towards the sky. And on the exhale, cat pose. Tuck the tailbone under, bring the belly in and up towards the spine, and slowly begin to sit the hips back, breathing here. Next, inhale, cow pose. Bend through the elbows, sweep the heart through. Press the mat away, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And on the exhale, cat pose. Press the mat away, pull the shoulder blades away from one another. Slowly begin to sit the hips back. One more time. Inhale, cow pose. Think about all those cues working together simultaneously. Exhale, cat pose. Sitting the hips back. Now inhale, come into a tabletop position. So restacking the shoulders up above the wrists, tuck the toes. And on the exhale, downward facing dog. Send the hips up and back in space. Pedaling it out here, bending through one knee and sending the opposite heel down towards the earth. Focus on dropping the ears away from the shoulders and sending the heart towards the thighs. One more round of breath. On the inhale, lift through both heels and look forward. And on the exhale, step through for a forward fold. Let's take ragdoll pose here. So bending through the knees, connecting the torso to the tops of the thighs. Hands come to the eyes and the elbows. Allow the crown of the head to hang heavy. If you need to add any of those swaying movements or nod the head yes, shake the head no, all those options are available to you. And then release the hands down onto the mat. Allow the tops of the hands, flip the hands so that the tops of the hands meet the mat. And again, just bend through the elbows. Allow the crown of the head to hang heavy. And on the next inhale, take a halfway lift. So bringing the hands to the shins, draw the shoulders back away from the ears, squeezing the shoulder blades together, breathing here. Reach the crown of the head and the tailbone in opposite directions. Deep breath in. And on the exhale, plant the hands down, walk the feet back, and come back into your downward facing dog. On the next inhale, right leg goes high, three-legged dog. On the exhale, step through for a pyramid pose. You may have to walk the hands back slightly to frame the front foot. Focus on keeping the toes and heels in line, pulling up on that left hip point, and drawing the nose to the knee. If you need to place a bend in the knee, by all means do so. Just enjoying the stretch in the backs of the legs. Then walking the hands forward. Take a deep breath in and lift through the left leg. And on your exhale, settle into standing half splits, drawing the nose to the knee. Keep the hips parallel to the ground. Align the right hand with the right foot. And on the inhale, open the pelvis, coming into a standing half moon. Sending the left arm up towards the sky and the sole of the left foot towards the back of the mat. Deep breath in on the exhale, planting that left hand down, pivot the pelvis and plant the left foot down. So coming into a low lunge, your right foot is in front. You're going to drop the left knee down onto the mat and lift the toes up towards the sky on the left side. Okay, so I'm going to turn sideways just so you can see it. We're going to inhale, reach forward with the right arm and up. And on the exhale, see if you can't find the foot with the hand. Giving a gentle tug, getting that nice quad stretch in. Maybe even gazing past the right shoulder. And inhale, release that foot. And on the exhale, sit the hips back, stacking them above the left knee. Draw the nose down to the right knee. On the inhale, look forward. Bring the right hand to the inside of the right foot. And on the exhale, slight bend in the right knee, and then pop it out to the side, perpendicular to the body. Sit the hips back, reaching the fingertips towards the front of the mat. We're going to inhale, come into gates pose, bring the arms up above the head. And on the exhale, side bend to the right, reaching up and over with that left arm. Right arm comes to the right leg, gaze towards the ceiling. Next, inhale, dropping the left hand to the left heel. Send the right arm up and back, sending the hips forward, a supported wild thing here. You're going to inhale, come into gates pose, bringing both arms up above the head. And on the exhale, planting the hands down and bringing the right leg in to meet the left. Inhale, tuck the toes. And on the exhale, send the hips up and back and face downward facing dog. Take a moment to pedal it out here. Nice deep inhales and exhales. 2 more rounds of breath. Settle the heels down onto the earth or close to. On the next inhale, lifting through that left leg, 3-legged dog. And on the exhale, stepping through for pyramid pose. Walking the hands back if you need to frame out that front foot. Pulling up on that right hip point, back on the left. Drawing the nose to the knee, placing a bend in the knee as much as you need to. And then when you're ready, walking the hands forward, inhaling, lifting through that right leg. And on the exhale, standing half splits, drawing the nose down towards the knee, keeping the pelvis parallel to the earth. And then grounding down into that left hand on the inhale, that balancing half moon, opening the pelvis, sending the right arm up towards the sky. Deep breath in. And on the exhale, planting that right hand down, planting the right foot down, coming into a low lunge, left foot's in front. Drop that right knee down onto the mat and send the toes up towards the sky. So on our inhale, we're reaching the arm forward and up. And on the exhale, seal the deal. See if you can't find that foot. If you can't, you're just reaching towards the back of the mat. And inhale, release the arm. And on the exhale, sit the hips back. It's modified seated half split. So we're keeping the hips stacked up above that knee, straightening through the left leg, drawing the nose to the knee. And inhale, lifting through the torso, bring that left hand to the inside of the left foot, and then bending through that left knee, open the leg on the exhale, sending it perpendicular to the rest of the body, and then sitting the hips back. Reach the fingertips towards the front of the mat. On the inhale, come into gates pose. Both arms reach up above the head, stacking the shoulders up above the hips. On the exhale, side bend to the left, reaching up and over with that right arm. Gazing towards the ceiling, breathing into the side body. Next inhale, right hand comes to the right heel, left arm goes up and back, sending the hips forward, supported wild thing. And then on the inhale, bringing both arms up above the head, coming back into that gates pose. On the exhale, plant the hands down, bring the left leg in to meet the right. We're going to tuck the toes on the next inhale. And on the exhale, send the hips up and back in space, coming into downward facing dog. Pedaling it out, taking 2 rounds of breath here. Settling the heels down onto the mat. On the inhale, the right leg goes high, 3-legged dog. And on the exhale, right knee to right elbow. Bring it forward. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Sending that right leg back up towards the sky. And on the exhale, right knee to left elbow. Cross it over. Extend the foot out, placing the knife edge of the foot onto the mat. And on the inhale, fallen triangle. Left arm goes up towards the sky. On the exhale, clamp the left hand down onto the mat. You're going to slowly begin to inhale, come back into that 3-legged dog. Right leg goes high. And on the exhale, step it through for pigeon pose. We're working that right knee up to the wrist as best we can. Making sure that the pelvis stays parallel to the ground and that the left toes are pointed towards the back of the mat. When you're ready, slowly begin to hinge forward. If you can stay on the hands, that's great. If you can come down into the forearms or even onto the belly, then namaste, rock on. And just softening into this pose. So really focusing on being intentional, not only with the breath, but scanning the body from head to toe, noticing those areas that are tensing up and purposefully softening through those. Breathing here. When you're ready, slowly begin to press yourself up. So stacking the shoulders up above the wrists as best you can. Still in that pigeon pose. Right leg still in front. You're going to tuck the toes on the left side and press the mat away, lifting through the hips. We're going to slide that right leg out from underneath us, coming into a half frog. So work your way down onto the forearms, keeping that right knee bent. So knee is coming off the hip, ankle coming off the knee. So we've got that beautiful 90-degree bend. And just holding here, allowing the hip to open up the opposite way. When you're ready, you're going to bring some stability with that left arm. So maybe draw the hand in just a little bit. We're going to lean back, find the left foot with the right hand, and give a little tug, finding yet another quad stretch here. And releasing that foot, you're going to reach the right arm forward. Thread the left arm underneath. Try to make it perpendicular to the rest of the body, palm facing down. You're going to take a deep breath into prep, focusing on keeping that right knee down on the mat. And then on the exhale, tee open the arms, Coming into a supine twist from the belly. Deep twist here. So soften through that left glute. If that right arm is sort of floating in space, we're working on spinal mobility as well as a little bit of underarm flexibility. So there's no pressure here, just let that stretch happen for you. But try to soften through that glute and maintain a nice deep inhale and exhale. And then leaving the right leg where it is. Slowly begin to unwind the spine. Going to make our way back onto our forearms, taking as much time as you need to reset the spine. Then when you're ready, extending that left arm out perpendicular to the body, palm facing down. The left temple comes down onto the mat. So getting ready for broken wing. Take a deep breath in here. And on the exhale, step up and over with that right leg. Putting a little bit of pressure on that shoulder. That right leg is your guide for how deep or how shallow you're coming into the stretch. But always start off a little bit small and let the breath carry you further into it. Slowly begin to unwind off of that arm, bringing the right temple to the mat. Just gaze out at the left fingertips for a moment. And then bring both hands into the side body, chin down to the mat. And inhale, press the mat away, coming into that tabletop position, tucking the toes. And on the exhale, sending the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Next, inhale, the left leg is going to go high. Three-legged dog. On the exhale, left knee to left elbow. Stacking the shoulders above the wrists. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Crossing it over. You're going to extend the leg out, placing the foot down. Fallen triangle on the inhale, right arm goes up towards the sky. Opening the heart, stacking the shoulders. Deep breath in on the exhale, planting that right hand down. And on the inhale, working that left leg back up towards the sky, three-legged dog. And on the exhale, bringing it forward for pigeon on the other side. So working that knee all the way up to the left wrist. Toes are pointed towards the back of the mat on the right side. And then either staying on the hands or walking down into the forearms, wherever is comfortable for you today. And just taking a moment of stillness, a moment of silence to just scan the body. Softening through the jaw. Softening through the shoulders. When you're ready, slowly begin to press yourself up, lifting through the torso. We're getting the shoulders above the wrists as best we can. And then tucking the toes on the right side and lifting through the knee. Gonna press the mat away, lifting up through the torso, sliding that left leg out from underneath, half frog on the bottom, and coming onto the forearms on top. So allowing that hip flexor to just open up for a moment. And we're going to ground down into that right arm, bringing the hand in just a little bit to the diagonal. And then you're going to reach back with that left arm, finding the foot, the right foot, and giving a little tuck, getting that quad stretch in. And then slowly release the foot. You're going to extend the left arm forward. Thread the right arm underneath. Make it perpendicular to the body. We're keeping the left knee connected to the mat. Deep breath into prep. And on the exhale, supine twist. Teen, open that left arm. Breathing here, softening through that right glute. A lot of the times when we twist or constrict the torso like this, the breath can become shallow. So really focusing on drawing out each inhale and each exhale. Slowly begin to unwind the spine, leaving that left knee where it is. You're going to work your way back onto the forearms and taking a moment to just let the spine settle. And then when you're ready, extending the right arm out, perpendicular to the body, palm facing down. The right temple comes to the mat, hand and elbow into the side of the body. Take a deep breath into prep. And on the exhale, pressing the mat away, stepping up and over for broken wing. Placing a little bit of pressure on that right shoulder and allowing the leg and the breath to carry you further. Slowly begin to unwind off of that arm. You're going to leave it extended, bringing the left temple to the mat, gaze out at the right fingertips. And then slowly bringing that right arm into the side body and press the mat away just enough to come into tabletop position. And then come down onto the right or left side and shimmy onto your back. Draw the knees into the chest, rocking side to side. And taking a deep breath in, wrap the arms around the shins, drawing the forehead to the knees. Giving yourself a hug, thanking yourself for today's practice. And on the exhale, extending the legs out, Savasana pose. Extending the arms out. Palms facing up if you're open to receiving, palms on the ground if you still need that grounding. And just bringing the awareness to the tip of the nose. Drawing everything back to the breath and to the body. When you're ready, slowly bring the knees back into the chest. Hands behind the kneecaps. We're going to roll the length of our mat. Come to an easy seat facing the front of your mat. Hands to heart center. What an honor to be able to guide you through your practice today. Thank you for just bringing an open mind and that playful attitude. Let's go ahead and bring the hands to the third eye. Seal this practice. Namaste.